Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Yo, what's the YouTube? It's your boy Fitz back in the video with yet another video. Today I'm coming to you guys with a video I ain't really did in a while. I did this kind of like midway through 2K20 and I'm bringing it back for this week. I've been going over a lot of slashing type stuff when it comes to the best slashing animations from the layup. I'm also going to be going over the dunk packages real soon, so stay tuned for that. But I also went over the best finishing badges. So today I got y'all with the best slasher build. So pretty much all these builds on this list are going to have something to do with slasher in the name. I'm going to be ranking them in order. I'm going to be giving you the top 5 with some honorable mentions. So yeah, man, it's going to be 8 builds in total, I believe. It's either 8 or 9. But yeah, man, all these builds are pretty good. But the best build on this list is actually one of the best builds in the game, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading. Either some of these builds are already uploaded, or I plan to upload on the channel soon. So I will have the links to some of these builds to be more detailed. But I see a lot of people saying on these rankings videos, I don't want to go over these builds too detailed because that'll make these videos way too long. So I try to limit it to like around at the most 3 minutes. So yeah, that's another reason why some of these people that comment on my videos and say you going over stuff a little too fast, I'm gonna try to go over these into detailed videos very, very soon. But for video purposes, I try to make it as short as possible so that the video is not too long. So now that I explained that, go ahead, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming out very soon like this. I think the next rankings video when it comes to builds is gonna be the best two-way build. So if you guys want that, all you gotta do is leave a like on the video. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's hop into the video.
I got digital dash, came right with a I walk in the store and I bought the stock. I hide in the bins and pull off the lot. Got Tiffany diamond, it cost me a lot. They flying like birds, but drop on this hot. 400 degrees, I burned up the block. Burn out, make one call, they turn out. CC the gang, get the word out. When the shit getting hot, you the first out. Cover my wrist with a watch and I flood it with rocks. Now I look at the time all day. Be high, right through your block and I drop off the top and I know you can see my face. You my dog at the end, don't care what the bitches say. I got digital dash, came right with a I walk in the store and I buy the stock. I have in the bins and pull up.
Alright, before we go too far into this video, I want to make sure to go over this. Now, we were at 4.2%. We're all the way up to 9.7%. But still, 90% of y'all that are watching my videos aren't even subscribed. I know y'all mess with the videos. We finna be going so crazy, so you might as well hit that sub button. It's that simple. Alright, last but not least, coming in last place is the TwoWay Slash and Playmaker. Like I said, I'm gonna have honorable mentions, so this is going to be the first honorable mention. In my opinion, this is probably the worst build on the list, but this not saying that the build is bad. Now, how do you make the build? You're gonna actually make this build. It's gonna be at small forward, 6'6", 180 with 7'3" wingspan. So pretty much its longest possible wingspan. And then when it comes to the badges, you're gonna get 8, 10, 28, and 20. Now, like I said, you're gonna be seeing stuff in different order than what I'm saying it. So you gotta just pretty much pay attention to what I'm saying. But the reason why I say this is probably last because it has a lot of things that pretty much holds it back. It doesn't even have a high steal rating. It doesn't get a lot of badges, to be honest. In total, it gets a lot of playmaking and defensive, but shooting and finishing, you don't get that many. You know what I'm saying? And mid-range is kind of low. 3-pointers kind of low. I'm gonna just tell you right now, a lot of these builds don't have above an 82. I think the only one that had above an 82, it had a 90. So don't be expecting these builds to have like no crazy 3-point ratings, because to get these names, apparently you have to have an 82 or below 3-point rating on a lot of these builds. But yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of holes on this build that are going to be less significant on other builds. And like I say all the time, builds on next gen, they're not too much difference because you can pretty much do the same thing with every build, but some builds are just more overpowered than others. And this build is not a bad build. It just has some holes that these builds above it don't have, in my opinion. Alright, next, kind of similar to a TwoWay Slash and Playmaker, we have the TwoWay Slasher. I'm probably going to be uploading a video on this soon. It's going to be similar to shades of LeBron James, Jason Tatum, and George Irving. Now, how do you make this build? You're going to be 6'6" again, 180 with 7'3" wingspan. Very similar to the last build. The big difference is you're going to have pretty much max finishing, driving dunk, standing dunk, and post control. You're going to end up with 16, 10, 16, and 20. So instead of having the 28 and 20, which in my opinion, 28 playmaking is a little bit OD. I feel like you probably need around 15 to 18. If you're going past 18, you putting on extra badges like special delivery, which I don't feel like you necessarily have to have anymore with how much they nerfed it now. But yeah, you still have only 10 shooting. So if you feel like the 8 extra finishing isn't better, then you can say the last build. But these are two very similar builds. I just feel like you actually make it a little bit more balanced when you can have pretty much a little bit closer finishing to the playmaking while still having a 20 defensive. Now, this build still doesn't have interior defense or steal, but it does have better physicals. Like when it comes to, you're gonna have a better vertical and a much better strength. So there's a lot of different factors to go into these builds when it comes to ranking it. Pretty much the builds are very similar. The only difference between these two builds, the last build had max pass accuracy. This one doesn't have max pass accuracy, but it has higher finishing, so that you're gonna be able to go into the post. You're gonna be able to pretty much have a standing dunk. You got way more finishing badges, but taking a hit on your playmaking. So this build does get less badges in total, but in my opinion, this build would be better because it can just do a little bit more. And the takeaways that I would go with on this build is pull-up precision and finishing moves. You don't actually get a sharp takeover on this build. So yeah, on the last build you didn't also, I didn't mention that. But yeah, I think I ended up going with Slasher and Block on the last one. For this one, I'm gonna go with Shot Creator and Slasher. And like I said, the build comes out as a 2-way Slasher, similar to shades of LeBron James. All right, next, last but not least for the honorable mentions. Now we're getting to the good builds. Now every build from this point on are actually very good builds in some way, shape, or form. This build is the 2-way mid-range Slasher. Very, very good build. How do you make this build? This is going to be at the power forward. The last two builds I just showed you guys were small forward builds, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, they were small forwards. This build is the power forward. You're going to be 6'7", 210 on the weight with max wingspan. Then when it comes to the badges, you're going to have 19, 15, 15, and 19. 19 is going to be really, really good compared to the ones you was getting. 15 is way better than 10. 15, like I said, you don't really need but around 15 to 18 in my opinion. And then everything after that is just extra. It's not necessary in my opinion. Then we have 19 defensive. You don't get 20 defensive on this build. So if you feel like that's an L, that's up to you. But yeah, you only get 19. You don't even get a max perimeter defense because if you went higher than 92 for some reason, it doesn't come out as a 2-way mid-range Slasher. And then when it comes to the physicals, you actually have pretty decent physicals. The only hole you really have is low stamina, but that's not even really a hole on next gen because stamina at a certain point it doesn't even do anything extra after you go past a certain overall attribute apparently. So yeah, there's also that. So yeah, man, that's pretty much how you get the attributes down. Then when it comes to the takeovers, I ended up going with, I went up with spot up precision and finishing moves. I've already ranked those multiple times. Those are the two best takeovers in my opinion, especially for this build since it doesn't get shot created takeover. And the build comes out as a 2-way mid-range Slasher, similar to shades of Pascal Siakam, John Collins, and Julius Randle. All right, now we hopping into the top 5. Now for the top 5, now coming in at number 5, we have the 2-way slashing shot creator. Now, how do you make the 2-way slashing shot creator? You're gonna have 15 finishing, 17 shooting, 15 playmaking with 23 defensive. You're gonna be at the small forward position this time, and this is actually one of the best builds at the small forward position when it comes to the badge standpoint. You're gonna be at 6'7", 180 on the weight, and 7'4" on the wingspan. Now, when it comes to the balance of the build, you're gonna have a really good driving layup, driving dunk, and standing dunk. Shooting, you're gonna be pretty much well-rounded. Like I said, when it comes to the shooting on a lot of these builds, except for one, you're gonna have an 82 or below 3-point rating. So that's pretty much just to get the name, but you have a really good mid-range and a really good free throw. This is actually one of the better free throws that's gonna be on the list. You have around 15 playmaking. Like I said, you don't really need but around 15 to 18. Then when it comes to the defensive rebound, you're pretty much gonna have a block and an offensive rebound that can't really go too much further past that, or it's gonna start changing the name. So that's why it's kind of that low. But yeah, 23 defensive badges is really good. But yeah, you have 51 interior defense with a max perimeter defense, a max defensive rebound. Then when it comes to the physicals, really good physicals, pretty much what you usually gonna have. You just don't have no strength. And then the stamina kind of low, but I just went over how stamina is not really as important as we expected. They kind of did something to it to kind of mess it with it. Then the takeaways I end up going with, you can go whatever shot creator takeover you want to go with. For me personally, I want to go for Clem style. I want with ankle breaking shots and finishing moves. That's the takeaways I will go with for this build. And the build comes out as a 2-way slashing shot creator, similar to shades of Jason Tatum, George Gervin, and Jeremy Grant. So yeah, man, that's going to be the build that comes at the number 5 spot on the slasher build list. All right, next coming in at number 4 is the floor spacing Slasher. Now, how do you make this build? You're going to be at the power forward position. Back to the power forward position now. We're going to be 6'7", 211 on the weight with 6'11" on the wingspan. One thing of note that makes this build better than the rest, you might not think it's better because of the badges or anything, but the main reason why I say this build is better is because you have, instead of an 82 3-pointer, you have a 90 3-pointer. So in my opinion, that makes the build better because you can actually go to that max 3-pointer capability of this build. So yeah, you're going to have 11 finishing, 13 shooting badges, 20 playmaking badge upgrades, and 26 defensive rebound badge upgrades. Another thing that makes this build better than a lot of these builds on the list, if you look at the defense, very, very good defense. You're going to have a max perimeter defense, still pretty much max. You're going to be able to get that to a 96 at 99. You're going to have a 91 defensive rebound, which is max, a max block, then a 74 offensive rebound, and a 50 interior defense. And even your physicals are even pretty decent. Now, one thing I would say, if you want to be able to get contact dunks, you really do want to have that vertical at 70, but you hit 99 on this build, you're going to be able to get the contact dunks because it's going to go over 70. But yeah, you really do want to have a 70 plus off rip so that you can get the contact dunk packages off rip. So that's one thing I will say. So if you got to lower your stamina or whatever, do that to be able to get that vertical to 70. But yeah, pretty much all in all, this is really a good build. It has a couple holes in here and there, but for me personally, I don't shoot that many mid-ranges, so I'm not really tripping off that. Layup is very inconsistent with how the close shot is, but yeah, that's not really a big deal for me either. Having an 80 layup is going to be just fine. But yeah, if you feel like there's the holes, I feel like that's made up with how good the defense is on this build and how high the 3-point rating is on this build compared to the other builds. And the build comes out as a floor spacing slasher. The takeaways I would go with spotter precision, finishing moves as usual. And like I said, the build comes out as a floor spacing slasher, similar to shades of DeMar DeRozan, Chris Webber, and Tobias Harris. So yeah, man, that's the build that comes in at the number 4 spot on the list. All right, next coming in at the number 3 spot is the slashing Playmaker build. Now, how do you make this build? You're gonna be at the power forward position again. A lot of these builds are gonna be power forwards and small forwards. I'm just say that right now. But the thing about it, you're gonna be 6'7", minimum weight, and max wingspan. I went max wingspan on a lot of these builds because a lot of these builds, you have to you can't go above 82 3-point rating. So why would you not go max wingspan? Because that's going to be allowing you to do a lot more on these other attributes that's more important, in my opinion. So that's kind of my thinking when it comes to that. Now, this build is kind of similar to that TwoWay Slasher or TwoWay Slash and Playmaker, but it's at the power forward, and it's 6'7" now. So let me show you how to make it. Pretty much, you're going to have 14 finishing, 23 shooting, 21 playmaking, and 24 defensive. Now, physicals, pretty decent. Max stamina, max speed, max acceleration, vertical based off the drive and dunk. Pretty good finishing, decent shooting. You're going to have an 85 free throw. That definitely has to be the highest free throw we're going to have out of all these builds that you're going to see on this list. Then when it comes to the playmaking, pretty much 21. I always tell you, I pretty much been saying this whole video, you only need around 15 to 18. Anything past 18 is kind of extra. This build gets 21. So if you're a person that really, really wants to have special delivery, you can now get that easily. Then we have 24 defensive because we have a max perimeter defense, block, offensive rebound, and defensive rebound. So that makes this build even better. Like I always say, steal is the best way of getting stops. But if you can't have that, get a lot of defensive badges so you can put as many badges on as possible to make defense just that much easier. And then when it comes to the takeovers I would go with on this build, rank these already. Spotted precision, finishing moves, the 2 best takeovers in my opinion, especially if you cannot get a shot creator takeover, which this build does not be able to get. And the build comes out as a slashing Playmaker, similar to shades of DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, and Chris Webber. So yeah, man, that's going to be the best slashing Playmaker build in the game. And I'm going to be uploading a video on that very soon. That's actually a really good build. But yeah, that's going to be the 3rd best slasher build in NBA 2K21. Alright, next we got one of the best center builds in the game, and it's the build that comes in at number 2. In my opinion, the build I posted this week is a better build than this for centers, but this is just right there neck and neck. Now, I keep saying a build has the highest free throw, but this definitely has the highest free throw. But yeah, let's go ahead how to make it. So you're obviously going to be at the center position, 6'9", 215 on the weight, so that's minimum weight, and then max wingspan, which would be 7'7" on the wingspan. Now, how many badges you get? You get 24 finishing, 20 shooting, 10 playmaking, and 27 defensive rebound badges. Now, when it comes to the physicals, you actually have pretty good physicals. Now, one thing I would say, my build gets a lot more contact dunks than a lot of people get, and that's because I actually have max physicals. Now, It might be because I also have max strength, which this build does not have, but I do have max vertical. This build has damn near max vertical. It's 1 off of max vertical, so that's gonna be really good for helping you get contact dunks. And for big men, I know a lot of big men like having a max vertical for rebounds and stuff like that, but it's also gonna help you get more contact dunks. So yeah, that's another fun fact. But yeah, when you look at the defense, you got all the stuff that you really want on defense. I made sure to have perimeter defense up. You can go max on vertical, but I wanted that at 76 perimeter defense, so at 99, I'm getting it to an 80. That just, in my opinion, makes me feel a lot more better with my perimeter defense on this build. Then when it comes to the playmaking, you actually do get Hall of Fame quick first step on this build, so do not think you don't. So yeah, now I'm gonna be upload a video dedicated to this build. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, this up there with the best center builds in the game. Definitely just as good as the build I just posted this week. I feel like the build I posted this week is just a little bit better. But yeah, you're gonna have really good finishing. Pretty much everything on shooting is max. Pretty much everything on defense is max besides interior defense. Playmaking, you get 10 playmaking badge upgrades, which is really not necessary on a center build. But yeah, really good build. Then the takeaways I ended up going with spot up precision and finishing moves. You can go with sharp takeover and glass news takeover. Sharp takeover is the only one that's going to help you get an added bonus to your 3-point rating, and glass takeover is the only thing that's going to give you an added bonus to your rebounding. Now, that's really only mainly important if 2K is not capping about attributes going past 99 when you're in takeover. Because if they do go past 99 when you're in takeover, you can have like 100 plus. I think you can get to 107 rebound, because at 99 you're gonna have 99 offensive and defensive rebounds, so you can have 107 rebound in takeover. That's kind of OP. I'm not 100% sure if that works like that, because every single time I test it, it doesn't really show that. But Mike Wang, 2K have said it multiple times, so if they keep saying it, it must be true. But yeah, the build comes out as a glass hitting slasher, similar to shades of Karl D. Towns, Andre Drummond, and Christian Wood. So yeah, man, that's the build that comes in at the number 2 spot on the list. And coming in at the number 1 spot, this is by far the rarest build on the list, and by far, in my opinion, the best build on the list. So let's go ahead, hop straight into how you make it. It's going to be the mid-range slasher. Now, how do you make this build? You're gonna be power forward. Obviously, if it's one of the best builds on the list, it's going to be at the power forward position. Why the power forward? Because power forwards, they just get more badges, they get better attributes, all that, and the above. Now, next, you're gonna be 6'7", 211 on the weight with 7'4" wingspan. 211 on the weight, that's pretty much like a little loophole thing that we like to do. Instead of going 210, you go 211. That's gonna pretty much be the same thing, but you get to be way more. You can get slightly better strength, and pretty much 7'4" on the wingspan. You're not gonna go past 82 3-pointer, so we go max wingspan. The real main reason we do anything for wingspan is to make sure that we have a higher 3-pointer and a higher ball handle. You can't go past 80 ball handle, and you can't go past 82 3-pointer. So those are the two main basics for that. Now, when it comes to the badges, you get 15 finishing, 17 shooting, and 17 playmaking. Now, I've said multiple times, you don't really need any more than 15 to 18 playmaking. You get 17. 15 finishing is really good, especially since you're looking at it and you're realizing you're not really putting up anything but driving layup, driving dunk, and standing dunk. So that makes that a lot better. 17 shooting badges is very, very decent. You probably would want a little bit more, maybe you're around 20 at least. But 17 is not bad, especially for a build that has an 82-3. I feel like you can still make that work really well, especially since it's a lot of badges you're not going to be able to get Hall of Fame. So if you're at 20, you probably will be able to get a lot more badges Hall of Fame. This build doesn't get as many badges Hall of Fame because it has a lower 3-point rating. So you probably will be able to compensate, since those badges aren't getting Hall of Fame. You can put those to gold, and you're still going to be able to put those badges to max. Then we have 27 defensive rebounding badge upgrades. And pretty much everything on this build after playmaking, shooting, and finishing is almost perfect. Defensive rebounding, you're going to be able to have pickpocket and interceptor at least gold with max perimeter defense, block, offensive rebound, defensive rebound, all physicals max. So pretty much stamina 99, 89 speed, 85 acceleration, 77 strength, and a 96 vertical with crazy perimeter defense, crazy defensive rebound, crazy offensive rebound, crazy block, and you're gonna be able to get your steal above a 70. So yeah, man, this is definitely the best build on this list. I'm gonna be uploading a video very soon going over this build in detail, because it definitely deserves a video of its own. So that's 2 builds that could have probably been number 1 on any other rankings list, but this build right here, it's just better. It's just better in my opinion. I'm probably end up posting the video on both of these last two builds I just went over. But yeah, next, I'm not even done with this build. What takeovers do we want to go with? We're gonna go with spawner position and finishing moves. If you want to know the takeovers, you get sharp, finishing, and lockdown and glass. So pretty good takeovers. Then when the build comes out as a mid-range slasher, similar to shades of Chris Webber, DeMar DeRozan, and Zion Williamson. So yeah, man, that's going to be the best slasher build in the game. So yeah, man, that was the top 5 slasher builds with honorable mentions. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on this video and make it go out to a lot more people. These videos do take forever to make, so I really would appreciate it to anybody that leave a like and subscribe if you're new. We on the road to 100K, so 75K, man. We're gonna have a big bigger week coming very soon, man, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, turn on notifications for the first day every single my video. Share this video to anybody you think this will help. But yeah, man, it's your boy Fitz, man, and out there, man.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Bands to make her talk, if she don't want to speak, then that shit chalk. I came in peace till that boy talk. I'm on my knees and I'm praying to the Lord. Last year they said I was dreaming a lot. Just 1 year later and we still won't stop. Been stacking my paper, best where I know.